It's the Yippee Yes podcast with Marisa and Tamika.
Look, I'd rather be a gambler than a weedhead.
I walked in, sat down, had to leave, and violently vomited.
I'm not going down that hole. I'm not. Don't even try me. Not today, Satan. Not today. I value my friendship. You're the cream. And the coffee is life. You bring cream to my life.
I'm not sure.
Once a week for an hour.
Hello.
Hello.
How's your day going?
It's all right. Doing a little purging, spring cleaning in August.
How does that feel?
It's cool. I mean, it's like you finding things that I never thought about, and like I think I told you about when I was in college, I had like a fight with my roommate, and she deleted like my journal from my computer.
Yeah.
But I found a journal that I kept in 1993. So
Wow.
I have like I can still see what my thought process was back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like basically it's entries right after my second year in college. So I went to school in 92, 90, it was like it started in May 93. So it's like the summer of 93. I'm talking about my mom and my nana and stuff. So I haven't really read it that much, but it's good that I found it because, still kind of editing my book right now and being able to use that somewhat as a reference of how I was thinking back then and kind of add things, take things away.
Yeah.
So,
did you find any treasures?
just like pictures, things like that. Nothing like that made me weep, thankfully, but I'm not done.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Yep.
Well, this week I wanted to talk about it's fall, y'all. Well, it's almost fall. I know I'm rushing it.
Yeah,
We
please.
just started. No, we just started August. But here's the thing that I wanted to kind of like get a little recap. We're halfway enjoying the summer, and the news feels like the apocalypse is on its way. I feel like they're preparing us for the second wave of the apocalypse. But I wanted to see if like you had a bucket list of stuff that you wanted to do before the summer's over.
No. Go ahead. You what?
Right. So, well, hold on a second. So, like when you're starting in the summer, you're like, oh, I want to do this, do that. Like spring cleaning is always on my list. Purging is always on my list. I don't like when people touch my feet, but I always like to get at least one pedicure.
You love rubbing your feet on other people, though. Oddly enough.
Yeah. Yes, because my toes are always frozen and skin is always so warm. I always put my feet under somebody's thigh, especially if we're sitting on a couch. It's terrible. It's a terrible habit, I know. But I'm not looking to stop.
Well, I've just learned to move further down.
And I can scooch
and
over.
Your daughter is the same way.
Which one?
Your daughter.
Yeah.
She does a lot of the same things. Anyway.
What's worse was like we were snuggling on the couch before and like we were both trying to like put our feet under each other. And it was like
a fight.
Yeah. I'm like, you move your body. She's like, but I want my feet under you. And I was like, me too. It was just, yeah.
Anyway.
So you were just saying before, you don't have a summer bucket list?
No, because oddly enough, like my job includes traveling. So like later this year, I'm going to so I'm going on a business trip next week. Not necessarily a place that I would have put on a bucket list, but prior years, a bucket list is traveling.
Always, yeah.
Right. And then like I'm going to Hawaii in September. So it's like there's stuff that's like, how am I have a bucket list when I got
you rub it in?
No, but I'm saying how am I create a bucket list on top of I guess the only thing I could say is like bucket list for those trips. So for Hawaii, I want to go snorkeling. I've never done that before. So I want to, and I'm not a great swimmer.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that
So snorkeling is perfect for you then.
Right. And so I want to try that. And I've seen the place where we're going to go snorkeling, and it looks like there's shallow parts, so I can, I'm not going to be in like 50 feet ocean.
Yeah.
I can be close to, where we dock or whatever.
Where you just stand up. Yeah.
Right. And so that's cool with me. And then, and as far as like the work thing, it's just the I want to fly. I want to go play. I just want to go, you know what I mean? And, so I've been able to do that. And I would like to spend more time with my friends, but everybody can't hang out. I guess that would be probably the biggest bucket list, is being able to spend more time with friends. With that being said, I'm also not trying to, I hung out with one of my friends the other day, and he was saying to me, he was like, I just want to thank you. He's like, because there was a part in my life where I didn't appreciate when somebody said, let's hang out. And then when that was taken away from me and I wanted to hang out, it's like nobody's available. They do the whole like, yeah, I'll pencil you in. Let's check back in 2 weeks, by the end of the year, that kind of thing. He's like, but you've always been consistent, and you told me 3 times I'm not asking no more.
Yep.
And so, that made me feel good, because I would feel like I'm always pushing stuff and nobody tries to hang out, it's like, but I know they are, but it's like everybody has the same free time that I got. And I've said that last week.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I put up a picture of something on my bucket list. So I don't think I've ever mentioned, okay, hold on a second. Is it charcuterie boards or charcuterie boards?
I don't know.
So I've always said charcuterie. I don't know now. Oh Lord. So on Instagram, my algorithm has like these charcuterie. Oh girl, shut up, my mouth is watering. And I came upon, apparently out here local, you can look at this picture. It is a private beach picnic for you and friends, and they provide wine, charcuterie, and like other little tapas that you can think of. So my mouth is watering. Yes, I want to do this.
No, I said, are you wanting and doing?
Yes, I want to do this.
No, I said, are you and wanting are 2 different things.
Oh, am I? See, it's always so tricky with me, because see this photo there in the shade. I have to make sure I'm in the shade. So my desire is optimal.
If they can provide all that, they can provide an umbrella. It looks like there's an umbrella.
There better be an umbrella. At the cost of what this shit looks like, oh girl, there better be an umbrella. But look how beautiful that is. Imagine just sitting out with your girlfriends, some wine, some food, and then look, they have a bundle of sticks for a fire, a beach fire, a private, like, girl.
I think me and you should plan this together, because if if I'm in the picture, then it'll get done.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in the picture, it's never going to get done.
In 3 years, yeah. I am totally in.
We're going to plan it right now.
Okay.
The end of summer.
Yes.
Girlfriend get together.
Yes.
You're going to invite, and we can invite a couple guys if we want to. Like, I know a guy or 2 that would enjoy this.
Actually, yeah, right? Let's invite them.
But no spouses, boyfriends. I'm talking like a friend. Like,
yeah.
Because then it becomes very like the guy is like needy. Like, it just, when it's all friends, we're all friending, we're all talking, and it's just different.
That's exactly.
So let's okay. We're gonna.
You're in, right?
I'm dead serious. But the key is, I'm not doing all the work.
No. Okay, I'm in.
We're not hiring a company. We're gonna do it ourselves.
Oh, okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't need a company to do this. It's a fucking table and chairs.
True. It looks so nice though.
You bring them, you go to the dollar store, get some really nice plates, some wine glasses.
I'm in.
A couple of bottles of wine. An evening,
totally in.
Meet at Crab Meadow Beach at 6 p.m. You know what I'm saying?
Shut up.
Like, we can say even like 5:30, 6 p.m. That's a perfect time. People get off of work or whatever, and it's not as crowded.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
So
We'll hammer out the details later.
Now,
Um,
I'm telling everybody now, like I will blow up Marissa's spot if this goes to shit in the handbasket come the end of September.
Why?
Because it's gonna be your fault.
How?
Because I'm consistent with my shit. I'm like I set up, I facilitate the time and date and everything like that. So
All right, shut up. So now I'm all
so we gotta
fluster.
you're gonna get your dream. What you want to do will be done.
I'm manifesting right now, apparently. Completely manifesting.
Correct.
Hold on, let's see what else I can manifest. Oh, I found a list of okay, can you see that?
Yep.
It says of something. So it says reconnect with some old friends. You're so good at that. You're so good at that. I am not. Make new friends. Again, you're great at that. I'm not. Swim a lot in the pool, in the ocean, rivers, wherever. I don't know. Are you a swimmer?
No, but I want to be, but I'm too self-conscious about my hair. It's like work. I go swimming and now it's a process. Now I have to like.
And I feel like swim caps really don't keep your hair dry.
No, but apparently like, my friend was telling me about those banned Olympic swim caps for like Black people.
Right.
I need to order that.
Now, but does it keep your hair dry?
Well, yeah, I guess it's made for people. I don't know. I mean, I haven't used it, but I'm assuming.
Oh, that's something definitely to look into, because you have been, I don't know how many times you've taken swim classes, swim lessons, all of it.
Way too many.
And I honestly think you don't have enough fat, because apparently you have to have a certain amount of fat on your body to float. You sink like a stone.
It's crazy, but I can, there's nobody with a better glide than me. Once I'm in that water,
that's it.
My last swim coach, she, I jump into the water off the diving board. I jump in and I swam underwater from one end of the pool to the next without coming up for air. And she's like, now we got to learn how to bring your head up. And I cannot get the mechanisms.
Yeah, but not only that, you have to be able to float. Like you sink like a stone. So it's easy for I don't think you have enough fat on your body.
It's and what lungs. Well, no, because if I can hold my breath, then that means I have good lungs.
No, well, that you have great lungs. You can definitely hold your breath, but it's a certain amount of fat, because you have to be able to be buoyant. Because think about it, people like, if you take out air from your lungs, it's not like you're sinking like a stone the way you do. Like, yeah, you're holding in air, but it's just not the same. Like everybody else is at a higher,
it might
closer to the surface.
It might even have something to do with my medical issues, my bone disease, I don't know. You never know. That could happen for it too, because I want to be fucking Katie Ledecky. Okay.
Yep.
But I'm more like, you remember, did you see the image of P. Diddy when he jumped in the water?
Yes. That is so you.
It was like, yeah, so.
Oh my gosh. Oh, go hear some good music. You posted a clip today about Lauryn Hill. That was such a good show. So angry. Didn't we wait like 4 hours for her to come on?
Well, I thought we did. But then I looked at the video because the show I think started at 8.
Right.
And I saw the picture, the photos were taken at like 8:45. So it seemed like a long time, but it really.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Or maybe the show said 7, which is possible.
Yeah.
Because remember they had all those people beforehand.
Yep.
Notes.
Go ahead.
No.
No. It's like note to self. Always show up late to a Lauryn Hill show, but that'll be the one time she shows up early or
Exactly.
on time.
Exactly.
I just can't risk it.
It's Lauren.
But she's so good though. And it's like you get so mad at her, but as soon as she starts singing, you're like, oh, it's so worth it.
I know. Like, it just, I know. You can't help it.
Ugh.
I'm gonna share before you go on, because I mentioned the Diddy. I want to share the quick little video of Diddy when he what I'm talking about for people that don't know. So for the people that are listening and can't watch, I'm showing Diddy posted to Instagram a video of him jumping in the water. And if this was not me, although he can swim apparently, but his diving game is bad. So I'm going to play the video for those that are watching and just, check it out. A few seconds. It was pretty bad. Pretty bad.
So picture it, 20 something years ago, we're in Lake George and the water's whitewater rafting and the water's calm. And Tamika looks out into this like calm and she's like, I'm gonna jump in. And she jumps in to the point where everyone in the boat, every single person looks at me and they go, can she swim? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, you're trying to pull you in because the way everything was looking, you were looking like you were in distress.
Well, the thing was too big, the life jacket.
Yeah, the life jacket
like it was coming up over my head. I'm like, what the? It was just too.
But it doesn't help, like the way you were like dog paddling, but you had like this look on your face of like distress. And they're trying to pull you into the boat, and you're kind of just like you weren't even moving your knees to like climb into. You're like, like
I'm like the most fearsome person. Like I will try anything, but I'd be scared of everything.
Yeah, but at least you try.
Yeah, I will try. I'll try food. I'll try, experiences. Even I just have to convince myself that like I'm not going to die. And even situations where I would probably die, like I take that risk because I'm like, God got me. You would think that I would.
When it's my time, it's my time.
Right. You would think I wouldn't take the vaccine because I'm like, there are people that just like, whatever, God is watching over me. I'm like,
you're like, I'm helping.
That's
to help them out.
That's not a risk I'm taking. So it's like weird. Like I remember when we were I think it was the Sprite Fest, and I just knew I could do the push-ups.
Yes.
And it's like,
but it was also like the way they had it. It's not like in school. It wasn't like this. It was further out.
Yeah.
So and you had to have a certain wingspan in order to do it. So it did nothing was in your favor that day.
But the fact that I thought I could get out, like I'm just like, what am I thinking?
Like, I was a pull-up champion in 6th grade.
And you guys like walked away like you didn't know me. So fucked up. I'm like, where'd they go?
No, we didn't.
Yes, you.
No, we didn't.
Y'all walked away. I just remember looking and couldn't find you. And then I spotted you like at the end behind all these other people. I'm like, thanks. You abandoned me.
But
You abandoned me.
But it was just like the lead up. You're like, I was the pull-up champion in 6th grade. I bet I could do that. I know I could do that. We're like, yeah, go ahead. And you're like, oh.
Hyping me up and shit. Anyway,
like, oh.
Moving on.
I can't catch my breath. And see, I'm not adventurous. Like I can't, my food can't even touch. Like I'm not adventurous. Like sometimes
I've convinced you to do shit you would never do with anyone else.
Yeah.
I definitely have gotten you places, people, things.
Yeah.
I know you wouldn't, like, you just wouldn't be doing that shit if I wasn't like egging you on. And you probably been like, this bitch, she got 3 toes, bad knees, and she can't hear, and I'm complaining, I'm gonna have to go with her.
Okay, for the record, I've never been like, you got 3 toes and bad knees. I better get going too. I am aware that like when we do physical things, I'm like, oh, but oh my God, I can't. Yeah, like, I don't know. We were talking about something and you were like, jasmine rice. You've never had jasmine rice? That shit is so good. And like the way you described it, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta try me some jasmine rice.
It's good.
Yeah, but it's like like you would think jasmine rice, weirdo. Like I just can't, like I just some
That's
stuff I just
because you're
can't.
Puerto Rican and y'all got your own way of preparing your rice. It's not like when you got your own shit, why try other shit? I
Yeah.
mean, it's nice to try other shit, but when your shit is
Mm,
bomb, like if you have your own tequila brand, why are you drinking other tequila?
that's a bucket list. I would love to have my own tequila brand. A tequila farm. I don't even need the brand, just a farm.
Well, I can't help you there. I was going to say we could go to Mexico and get our own tequila, but anyway, moving on.
Okay, the next one says, go hear some old music. Or did we say that? No, you did Lauryn Hill, right? Go on at least one adventure. What will it be? I don't know yet. Exciting. You're adventurous, I think.
Okay, so what's the most adventurous thing you've ever done?
I have been racking my brain since I read that. I don't think I've done anything adventurous.
No?
I don't think so.
Well, I've gone ziplining.
That's
That felt very adventurous because it was like, if I fall, I'm out. Like that's it. It's
yeah,
like there's nothing there.
yeah, that's not for me, babe. That's gonna be no for me, dog. See,
That-
that's why I'm not adventurous.
That was pretty adventurous for me. And I don't have to do it again. Like I'm good.
I went kayaking.
So that's pretty
Like,
adventurous, depending
yeah,
on
but what?
depending on who you ask.
Well, yeah, it was like not the open ocean, it was like an inlet.
Right.
So I was like, oh my God, there could be sharks and shit. I'm like not fit. I could get stuck. And I was like, I turned right around. I was like, I gotta go back. And who was I with? The group I was with, they're like, yeah, but look, we can go. I was like, yeah, I'll wait for you. Don't worry about it. I can't, if my arms give out, no. I was like, no, I'm not getting stuck out there to die. I see my brain immediately goes to like, I'm going to die. This is how my death is.
That fuels me.
Oh my God.
I know.
To a different energy.
So I don't know why that fuels me. Like when I start thinking like this could be it, and it's probably not going to be. Like I always think to myself, there's no way that I'm going to die ziplining. Like really, me of all people, like I ain't that special. You know what I mean? So then I'm like, I'll do it. Like whitewater, when we went whitewater rafting, like
that's adventurous.
Yes, but I'm like the fact that I jumped in the water knowing that I'm not a good swimmer. That's the other end of it. Whitewater rafting is one thing. Jumping in the water, like, oh yeah, I'm fine. Like really?
That's gonna be a no for me, dog.
Right. And then I've gone hiking and fell and had to be carried. Like there's things it's crazy. So it's things like that where, and then like I've ridden a bus. Me and my mom went on vacation, and no frills with me. We took the public transportation in Mexico, ended up in the mountains of Mexico. They're getting on the bus with machetes. So yeah.
Wow.
Or like when we were in Spain and
you must have seen such beautiful villages.
Nobody was looking at that shit. The guy was on the bus with a machete. Like nobody was paying attention to the beauty of Mexico. At that point, you're like, please, Lord, let me live. And then like, we're like in a car with see, I know you've done dangerous stuff but you don't think of it dangerous. Like I've gotten a car with like people that I've met at the bar and you don't know these people. Where are you going with them?
Oh.
You know what I mean? It's like you're having a good time at the bar and you're like, hey, yeah, let's hang out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like in hindsight, like you have kids, you would never want your kids to do that, to go hang out at the bar and then just like meet some random guys and all of
get in this car.
Just go, where are you going? And this is before like social media and like you had a phone, but it's like it's like 50 cents a text. Like you
Not even.
so different time.
Wow.
So I think if you thought hard on it, you would come up with something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
adventure wise, there's nothing that you would want to do.
There's adventure wise. I'm trying to think of like, to me, that's something like physical. Like, I did that, like, I'm trying to think.
But it doesn't have to be physical. When we think of adventure, we think of this physical, we think of going different places and experience things like that, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm trying to think. Kind of adventure. I don't know. We'll circle back.
Okay.
Okay. Run, ride, and roam. Oh my God. Talking a half marathon.
I've done that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's another no for me, dog. But you're, like I said, you're adventurous. And how would
I don't know. I don't know.
But what's it
interesting?
What was it for? I remember that it was for something.
I don't remember.
It was like
Henry Schein, something like that.
But it was like for a cause.
Maybe breast cancer. I don't remember.
Oh, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was exhausting. I didn't run it, by the way. I walked it.
You walked it. You jogged, fast pace, slow pace. Yeah.
Consistently. But I jog a little, then I'd walk. Like I jog when I'm like turning a bend.
Actually, no, you know what? I would want to do something like that.
I invited you every time I would go out. It was only did the half one once. The other times it was like I can't do it again. And I would always invite you. You'd be like, yeah, I'm coming, and then you just didn't come. But I you know me, I roam by myself if I have to.
Yeah.
Somebody saying no is not going to stop my flow.
Oh, and it shouldn't. Yeah. All right. Number 9. Oh wait, number 8. Hang out upside down.
Yeah, that's stupid.
What? Oh, ropes yoga. That's what she's talking about. Inversion, like the the thing, the what's the exercise with the
that's a no for me.
The hammock.
Yeah.
Actually, I would like to do that.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of places on the island that'll offer that service to you.
Yeah. Yeah, that I wouldn't mind doing. Number 9, write something new. Oh, I feel like that's you all the time.
I haven't been writing much, but I need to, like focus on my books and,
What about the food blog?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I did write something a couple weeks ago. So I'm actually going there later today, going back there for happy hour. So, yep.
Number 10, create something new. I'm a crafter, so that's easy.
I think the only thing that has fueled my creativity is probably this podcast, like doing the clips and things like that.
Yeah.
But that's about it. I'm not really creating anything like artwork or anything like that. So
yeah.
And it's not on my bucket list, so I probably won't be doing that.
You don't think?
No, it's not something it's not like I'm not a crafter. I get bored. I'm like, oh my God. Like I'm one of those people that starts off like, oh, it's looking good. And by the end of it, it's like, you rush through this, definitely.
There's 100+ summer bucket list ideas. I'll put that on our Instagram. But it's like, it's got outdoors, indoors, romantic, friends, crazy adventures, and self-care. But you know what? There's something in here that reminded me of you. The first one says fly a kite. And you're good for that. You're so good at, like, especially with my kids, like you'll show up one day with like kites for them. And it's like one of those things that you don't think about until you're doing it. That you're like, let's go fly a kite.
The thing about your kids and just kids in general is like, in my mind, I want to be like the super aunt.
Mm-hmm.
And kids are just like not interested. But I know when they're like in their 30s, they're gonna
look back at that and think about it all the time.
That does me no good now. your
The kids
your reflection on the last 30 years has no bearing on how insignificant
today.
I feel today.
Yeah, but you have to remember too, kids don't show gratitude in the same way that adults do.
I recognize that, but like I said,
Does you no good
it
today?
does me no good today. But I have to remember not to. I can't not do things because I'm not getting the gratification that I need.
Yeah, yeah.
But it is super annoying. Even when you like, you know, like your kids are at the age now where they like just don't want to be bothered. I'm not funny anymore. They're not trying to hang out. Like I try to make a joke and they look at me like I'm stupid. I'm like, really? You used to laugh at that. Remember when I used to blow on your belly button and you giggle? Like, where are those days? Not that I want to blow on their belly button.
I know
Pause.
what you mean.
Pause. Like, don't accuse me of shit. But you know,
No,
when they're like 5 months old and you're blowing on, and they just found that to be the funniest thing in the world. Like
just looking at them, yeah.
you throw them in the air and they're like, oh, do again. You swing them and they're like, again. Now it's like they just give you the roll, they roll their eyes and they're just not interested. And you know, it is what it is. In 30 years, they'll appreciate me. Hopefully I'll still be around.
I got that. So, okay. Cut to this summer, I feel like has been a resurgence like of old things, like everything from the 90s. Like I feel like all the styles is coming back. All the music is coming back. Everything's coming back. Are you looking forward to any trends to come back?
I'm looking forward. So as someone who feels like 90s music was the best era, 90s and really 90s, I mean, going into the early 2000s, but as somebody who feels that way, I got to tell you, it to see verses with the Locks versus Dipset and just be like, okay, lyrics, I love it. And then Lauryn Hill's verse on Nas's new album, it's like,
Love it.
okay, we're not dead and buried yet.
No.
And then
No.
I was cleaning out my file cabinet and I found my composition book with all my old raps. And it's like the things that I would think. So I'm looking forward to lyrics coming back. I know Kanye's got an album supposedly dropping one day. Who knows? But I'm looking forward to like the mumble music, like going away and the lyrics and, you know, that kind of stuff making somewhat of a resurgence. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
that when it comes to that, that's definitely me. What were you going to say?
Well, when you started talking about the Locks, I was watching a clip of Fat Joe.
You have to watch the whole thing. No.
I know I have to watch the whole thing, but the clip alone, I'm following, but I'm also not. And I'm like, this is what it's like to talk to me. I wonder if it's an ethnic thing.
A Bronx thing. He's Puerto Rican and Cuban.
And he's from the Bronx, right?
Yeah. I said it's a Bronx thing.
Oh.
But how much did you see the clip where he was like, after the show, he's like, we went to get dinner. I went to get dinner. He's like, guess where I went to get dinner? And then he's like, because you know he's reading the comments. But he always looks like he's paused. He's like,
well, kids, what do you think?
Castle. And I was like, if all of a sudden I had all these memories, because when me and you used to go to the club or the bar or whatever, and then afterwards, like, gotta get White Castle. And then your stomach be all fucked up because you're not supposed to sleep after that. But it was like, you know, you get 4 sliders and a fry. And he's like, I got me 2 cheeseburgers, a chicken ring or something, some fry. I was like, oh my God, it's White Castle. And he lives in Miami, so they don't have them there. So I can only imagine.
Oh.
But New Yorkers know, like listening to him, I was like, I love fucking New York. Like watching verses, I'm like, I love fucking New York. I miss the 90s. I miss us going into the city to different shows and just being in the city all night without a kid, like thinking to ourselves, oh, we got to be home. We just left when we were tired.
That's the one thing that I am looking forward to, but I'm also like nervous and curious about what that's going to look like for me, because I feel like all these, well, you know, with the mandates here in New York where you have to be either vaccinated you have to be vaccinated for indoor venues now. I wonder what that's going to look like, if there's going to be allowances for like negative COVID tests for, certain days leading up to. So I don't know, but I feel like there's going to be such a resurgence, especially with like everyone having to be quiet. There was nothing you could do last year. You had to stay in. And I feel like that got those creative juices going. And I feel like it's gonna be very, and I don't want to say epic. I don't want to say epic because nothing has been like teased or anything like that. But I feel like there's a lot gonna happen. Who was it that was talking about? Was it K Michelle that was like talking to Megan Thee Stallion, talking about old knees? I got old. I can sing sometimes,
yeah.
but I got old knees. But I want to do a song with you. And I was thinking about her like, she's it. They're coming back. All these vocalists, like 90s style vocalists, are coming back, and I can't wait. I cannot wait.
I hope so. The music today, and I'm reticent about even talking about music today because then I start sounding like the old lady in the corner. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
at the same time, I'm like,
you don't know nothing about this music.
It was a different time, like there are no more girl groups really.
I know.
Guy groups, and when looking at that Locks versus, it's like,
yeah,
all together. And then one of them, she did an interview and he's like, we practice and practice and practice. We practice for every scenario. So we were on point. That's why they did so well, because everything, they had an answer for everything, and they work with the DJ. And that's what you got to do. Just because you're a rapper doesn't mean you get to go on the stage, grab your balls and say, throw your hands in the air. Like it's practice.
yeah.
And that's why it's been around so long. That's why they're getting their flowers. And we need more of that. Like the baby can continue to be blacklisted. I don't give a shit. Like, who cares? Like,
It's so funny that you say that. No, we'll talk about it. No. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm just like, it's a different genre of music. I mean, you can compare the baby to Eminem when he said what he said about the LGBTQ community. And he listened and he took the respect and moved on. And now he's bigger than ever. The baby just doubled down, and he's like, these kids today, they have no respect. And I shouldn't say all of them, but the ones that seem to be coming through are the ones that are like, fuck you, I don't care.
You know what? I really have to piggyback on what you're just saying, and you're 1,000% correct. There's a certain amount of respect, especially outside of the world, that when you have listen, my kids are, in my vision, they're the most amazing, right? They're the smartest, they're the hardest working, they're, NFL, NBA, whatever other, and anything they can do it, right?
Right.
So, but they're just like your average normal kid. They're probably not great at sports, not the best grades, just your average child. But to me, of course, they're amazing. So I donated blood yesterday.
Oh my God. Okay, go ahead.
What? Okay, hold on. So, I donated blood yesterday, and I walk in, and the lady who's doing the intake, I scan my card, whatever, and I'm doing the stuff, and she goes, is there anywhere for them to go? And I go, well, can't they just sit in those seats over there in the corner? And she's like, do they have like toys or devices or something? I go, they have each other. And they all go to sit down. And she's like, I could tell. She's like, this is going to be it. 3 kids? This is going to be it. And my daughter had just come back from a lacrosse scrimmage. So they do like the paint on the face. So it was all smudged. Her hair was all fucked up. She's in her jersey, like she's wearing cleats. Like you could tell like she just came from something. So she's looking at the 3 of them like, and then this fucking mom who comes in here with these 3 fucking kids is going to be stuck on this chair. She can't even parent her own kids, right? But they're sitting in this corner, right? And there's nobody around them. There was like no one waiting. And she comes over to me. She goes, excuse me, are those your children? I go, yeah. And she's like, they are the most polite children I have encountered in my life. is like, is there anything that I can give them? Can I do? And I was like, oh, I'm sure they're fine. And she goes, can I give them snacks? And I go, well, yeah, sure. She goes, can I offer them anything? Like anything that we have? I go, yeah. If they'll tell you whether or not they want it or not, yeah, they could have. And she comes over and she goes, before they even said anything, they asked if I asked you first if they could have it. And I go, yeah. And she goes, they all said thank you and no thank you. And then they sat down and one came over and said, may I please have a napkin? I can't believe this. And she's like telling everybody. And I'm like, first of all, I just like, it's so now uncommon to be polite and respectful, especially to an elder, that it's like, I'm now, she called me super mom as we were leaving. And I'm like, okay.
How many kids, you're around kids all the time. You know, these parents, they ain't raising kids that are polite. I see kids.
They are not.
And they're like, looking at me like, fuck you.
Yep. No, they telling you.
You know, it's like, or they don't say please or thank you or anything like that. So, you know, kudos to you and for people recognizing it. So
what were you saying about blood donation?
So I had my annual, physical yesterday. And they had to draw blood. So I'm like, what are we sitting here at the same time drawing blood? But I have very weak veins. And I told them, I was like, I need you to use your smallest needle. I have very weak veins. She's like, no, she's like, we'll be able to get it. She's trying and trying. She's like, Olga. And Olga's like, what? She's like, I'm gonna need your expertise. Olga comes over and she changes the needle to a smaller needle. Because I don't know if I'm talking about, right? And so Olga's trying and she's like, oh my God. I was like, try to the far right, not in the middle of the elbow, but, or, what do you call that?
Yeah. The crooks.
Yeah.
The crook of your elbow. Yeah.
Try to the right of it. I was like, they tend to get it there. And I was like, if you can't get it there, you're gonna have to get it on my hand. And she's like, oh no, we're not gonna get it out your hand. I said, okay. So she's trying and trying. I swear to you, I was there for like 5, and like it takes 2 seconds to do. So 5 minutes doesn't sound like a lot.
But it's a lot. Yeah, especially when they're poking, that hurts.
Right, and they're moving it around, trying to get, this thing won't stay in place. So she's moving it around. So now I got 2 holes in my arm, right? The other one is like bleeding profusely because she pricked, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so she finally gets it. And I was like, you might want to double up on that. And they both laugh. Because I'm like, I was like, this is why I don't donate blood.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was funny that you were donating blood and I was trying to get blood tests done.
So the lady, but what's so funny, like you and I have the opposite of veins. I like whenever like there, I'm like, listen, I got crackhead veins. So if you're not ready, you're like, if you need to train somebody, come to me. And she's like, anyway, so like I'm talking to her, I'm like, I'll be here in like 2 seconds. She's like, oh, do you want the Wi-Fi? I'm like, no, I'll be done in like 2 minutes. And she's like, she does the thing and she sees that it's starting to flow. And she's like, you don't have to squeeze that thing anymore. It's like, no, I know what I'm doing. And I do you're supposed to do it like every 10, 15 seconds. I do. And then it starts going. And she's like, do you donate blood a lot? I was like, not a lot, but I try to often. She goes, oh, okay. She goes, all right, well, do you want the Wi-Fi? No, I'm going to be here like 3 minutes. And she goes, okay. She walks away. She changes a song. And then my machine starts beeping and she looks at me and she goes, did something happen? I go, I think I'm done. And she was like, there's no way you're done. There was a lady next to me that had been there when I came in. And she's like, how are you done? I was like, I don't know. I've just got those kind of veins.
It's crazy.
And she's like, do you feel okay? I was like, yeah, I feel fine. I get home and then all of a sudden it hits me like half hour later. I get really dizzy and sick, but at least I get home. So whatever, she's doing the thing, right? And she's like, and then you know me, I think my blood type is a flex. She goes, ooh, you got that O negative. I go, O negative, CMV negative. And she goes, ooh, you got the good. Look at you. I was like, yep.
Well, I'm struggle city. I'm like, it's
And you're like, why don't you
Like,
listen to me? I'm telling you what vein to take.
it's like I don't know. I'm 47 years old. I know by now. I've had multiple surgeries. Like I know my body.
Yeah.
And then I found out a few years ago that I actually inherited my veins are like my dad's. He has the same exact problem.
Really?
I had no idea. So I was like, because I went to his house a few years ago and I still had the bandage on because I have to keep it on a little longer than usual because it just won't stop.
Right.
And he's like, you told him to use a little needle? That's when I started using a little needle because I didn't know. And he's like, tell them to use the smallest needle they have. And I was like, oh, really? He's like, yes. He's like, it might take a little longer, but they hit the vein. And ever since then, he's like, we just have weak veins. He's like, oh, I don't know, you had them too. I was like, it's crazy. I was like, I don't donate blood. I donated blood one time and it took forever. I was there forever. I was like,
there's got to be something to this. I have to do some research. There's got to be something to this because I feel like you're pretty fit.
not really, but
you are. And you have to also think about like, take your handicap into the equation as well. You are pretty fit. You have good lung capacity. You're fit. You have good muscle mass. So I'm wondering if your vein, like there's got to be something with your veins because
it's crazy. But I hate when they do it from my hand because my hand obviously is easier, but it's
that
like
hurts though.
Hurts.
That's sensitive. Like there's a
Especially
reason they
when
don't do it there all the time.
Looking for it because they move around so much. Like, so you can imagine when I was doing the in vitro, because every time you go,
they have to take blood work
every single time. And so finally, the nurse that I had, when I would go there, I would be like, "Is such and such here?" And then the woman would look at me like, and then finally she got the picture like, "Oh, she's."
There's a reason.
Like she knew exactly
Yeah.
what to go to. She marked it in my chart. Like it was just like, okay.
In
Crazy.
vitro. It's like you forget about like the fucking full-time job that you have every morning just to like get your body together.
Yeah.
Like that was terrible.
Anyway, that's it was a different time. It's crazy. Different summer wish list.
I have a question for you because I know we're wrapping it up, and
I'm your thoughts or you.
Well, hear me out. Yes, I'm in my thoughts, but I'm also not in my thoughts.
Okay.
So
well,
I want.
I'm saying I didn't know.
You're
making the transition.
I'm making the transition.
That's what I was trying to tell you. Oh wait, you're not making a transition. Are you?
I am making a transition because my let me change my background because my musing is not exactly my musing. It's a diatribe.
Okay, well, I'm gonna still prepare our audience for your what do you call it? Your musing, if that's okay with you.
Yes.
Marisa's musings.
Okay, so there was a poll on Gallup, June 1st to June 5th of this year. The question asked was those with preference for Hispanic, Latino, or Latinx. Figures above represent combination results. So 57% of those polled said Hispanic, 37% Latino, 5% Latinx, and 2% said no opinion. Okay, now I know we have said this before, and I know you've used that term before, and I know it's very popular right now to use that term. Have you had
what, Latinx?
Yeah, Latinx. Yes, Latinx. So see, the numbers on this second poll that I'm showing don't exactly align to that first one, which is a little odd.
Right.
So do you have a preference in how you describe, I don't even know, a Hispanic, Latino, or Latinx person?
So the one thing that I've realized is that it's cultural thing. I don't know if it's a cultural, but like where you're located, like people in New York call people one thing. People
Right.
like, so like where I'm from, it's just, we just call them all Spanish.
Yeah.
It's just, and when I was growing up, everybody was Puerto Rican, even if they was like,
Yeah.
they were from Mexico, it's like Puerto Ricans. And then we started realizing, oh, they're not all from Puerto Rico. Those are Dominicans. Those are Cubans. Those are Mexicans.
My favorite is when they do the which one are you?
Yeah. Well, I never did that. It's just, honestly.
No, you've never done that, but
I
no,
think
no, like
I think when I met you is when I really started to understand, like, and that's pretty sad, but like growing up where I grew up, it was like, when you know better, you do better. So I made the change.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I was like, oh, so everybody's not Puerto Rican. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
somebody would be like, the Salvadorians are moving in. And I was like, so they're Puerto Rican. And then it's like, okay, they're Spanish. So now it's like everybody is just Spanish, which
Mhm.
which is kind of stupid, but until you tell me, you, my best friend, or my
Mhm.
stepmother who's Puerto Rican tells me I'm offended by that, I don't know.
Or a term of preference, right?
Right.
So this is so not eye-opening, but this actually was part of a thread. And the way I think, I don't know why it popped up on my algorithm, but a thread came up and it was a visually identifying Anglo-American woman. And she wrote, she had this highlighted and she goes, just how did she word it? Oh, I don't know why I didn't screenshot that, because I didn't mean it to make it about her. But what made it funny to me, made me think of this for right now, this diatribe was, she wrote something to the effect of, and final result, 100% of people just don't give a shit. Oh no, 100% of the people just don't give a shit. They're going to be called Latinx. And then all these other people started commenting underneath her to mention that she didn't have the right to, as a white woman, she didn't have the right to comment on something like this. And it made this poll even funnier to me, because number one, anyone who's been to Central, South, Caribbean, any Hispanic, Latin speaking country, Latinx country, the spectrum of what you see visually is so vast. Like, I know I used to joke all the time and tell everybody you was Dominican, and not a single person batted their eye, because it goes from every shade of the rainbow you could think of, every makeup you can think of. So one of the things that made that poll so funny is, like, here we are breaking down terms that are, these terms are subjective, right? That's like saying, what your pronouns are. It's subjective. It's whatever the person wants to be called. But part of this poll was just to understand what we're doing here. But what's great is that you're telling someone that they can't identify with this poll because they look white. And I thought it was incredible, hilarious, as well as, what's that word I'm looking for? Hypocritical. As with, I've said this before, most things in the Latinx community. It's only good for us, but not for you. I'm the right type of Spanish, but not the right type of Latino.
Right.
And I loved it and I hated it all at the same time. And again, like I said, my Latinx community, as they begin to delve into who they are, what they are, how they identify, they will never, never, never stop and pause and wait and waste a chance or a moment to shit on somebody else. For all we know, this girl has had 300 years of history in Costa Rica, while everyone calling her this white person who needs to get out of the rice pot has been born in Alabama and knows a Rodriguez from when they were in preschool.
Oh God.
But it just again, it just shows the hypocrisy in my Latinx, Latino, Hispanic community, and why we just can't get our shit together.
I think the one thing about it too is like nobody wants to be pigeonholed as one thing, which is fair
Mhm.
because
Oh, totally fair.
it's not fair for, I feel like the only ethnicity, race that never gets pigeonholed is white. Like maybe
Yeah.
on Long Island there'll be like Italians, but they're white. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of Italians who love to say to remind you that they're Italian on Long Island, but I don't see that any other place. It's
Yep.
like Long Island. I don't think it's a thing here, you know, but I think like every other race and ethnicity is like, you have to break it down. Like I'm not just Black, but I'm this. And that's why
Right.
I always get offended when somebody asks me, but yeah, but where are you from? This happened the other day when me, you, and another friend went out to dinner. You know, it's like,
Yep.
I don't know. It's annoying.
Yeah.
Annoying.
I won't stop. And it's not that, listen, I'm not here to shit on my community, and I'm not here to shit on anybody else and how they feel. Listen, whatever you want to be called is what you want to be called. And I'm going to appreciate that and respect that, you know, and I don't come to the table to be hurtful or hateful. You know, if I like Hispanic, I sometimes say Latino, and sometimes I say Latinx. So whenever I'm speaking about someone or something, I come with love and respect first and foremost. So until you tell me different, obviously, you know, I'm going to use the terms that are comfortable with me.
Right.
But when it comes to a poll like this, yet again, and I'm not sure what the agenda was or what the need was for it, or was it just a curiosity? But yet again, I feel like this is just another example of my Hispanic, Latino, Latinx community and how we just still can't get our shit together. We're
Because
talking about a poll.
control to
Talking
divide
about a
and
poll.
conquer.
Exactly. Here we go to a poll on what we're going to call ourselves and what's the preference. They tell the preference. Someone comments about the preferences and you tell them that they can't have an opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's never gonna end.
Okay. But listen, with that, love and light, and enjoy the rest of your summers. And with that, homie, where can they catch us?
They can catch us at Yep Yeah Yes 18 via Instagram, Twitter, and Yep Yeah Yes podcast on Facebook. You can download the show via iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play Music. Full videos are available on YouTube as well as the audio. Clips are always out every other day or three days a week, which is a lot of people tend to like. But you know, we prefer that you download the show, subscribe, and enjoy, and let us know the feedback. By the way, we got feedback this morning from someone from YouTube. I'm going to read her. This is the ignorance of people. Let's see. She said, 2 Black girls jealous of the Kardashians. See it a lot. So I responded, 1 Black, 1 Puerto Rican, one stands them, the one talking, the other doesn't. But okay. So now you always said you were never accepted by the Black community. Mofos think
See?
Black.
I love it. Thank you. My 18% said 18% said thank you.
I can't stand you right now. Anyway, but yeah. So am I sweating under my, does it look like I'm sweating or is it shadow?
Looks like a shadow.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, good talk.
Good talk. Bye.
Next time. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.